Have you ever wondered why everything you try to do, you keep on failing? It seems like everyone around you, online and in person, is getting win after win after win, but you just can't seem to get it right. If so, in today's video, I will show you how to always be successful and what's truly holding you back from achieving your dreams. In order to be successful, you must understand the pathway to success. If you don't know which direction you're going, you'll surely be going the wrong way. In order to be successful, you must understand the pathway to success. The pathway to success is broken down into 3 different parts: the belief, the action, and the failure and aftermath. Each part will be paired with my own personal story to help illustrate each path. I very quickly realized that holding that mic the entire time was not going to work. Okay, starting with belief. Belief is one of the most important aspects to the pathway to success. If you don't get this part right, everything around it will crumble. Just like a house, when the foundations of the home isn't properly set, when you actually start to put weight on it, the cracks will start to show. Before any journey can start, you have to actually believe that you can do what you set out you want to do. I see a lot of people in life say that they want to do a lot of things, but they don't truly believe in what they want to do. They don't actually believe that they can achieve it, already setting them off on the wrong foot. When I was younger, I was a shy little kid, and I didn't talk to a lot of people, even though I yearned for friendship. It really didn't help that my family was a military family. So that means I moved around a whole lot because we were put at new duty stations, meaning that I was put into new school systems pretty consistently. For example, I went to 3 different middle schools, 1 for each grade level. So in the hindsight, that really wasn't the best for me. And because I was always moving around a lot, I was constantly the new kid at school, meaning that I had to constantly reacclimate to new sets of friends, new social dynamics. And for a shy little kid, that's really exhausting. So there was a point where I told myself, I'm just never gonna make new friends again. Because if I couldn't have any consistency, there was just no point at all. I know that was dramatic, but try convincing a 10-year-old me that. The belief that I would never make any friends again sunk so deep into my psyche that whenever people actually did try to talk to me, I was overwhelmed with anxiety and I just wouldn't say anything at all. Just a scared little shaky kid trying to talk to people. The anxiety I began to experience was a direct result of me believing truly that I wouldn't be able to make any friends again. So whenever I did actually eventually try to make friends, I went into it with the belief that I wasn't going to be able to achieve my goal. So therefore my body physically reacted that way, causing anxiety before I even made any moves. The belief in the action that you're about to take is so detrimentally important, because if you don't, your body can physically react in a way rejecting you from your goals. And that's all because of what you tell yourself in your head. If you tell yourself one thing, your body's gonna physically react to what you're trying against whatever you're trying to achieve. Now that you've gotten past the belief part, here comes one of the more difficult parts of your journey: actually taking action. Taking those first few steps towards any goal or journey can be one of the most difficult parts of it, because all the nerves and jitters that you're gonna face, alongside all the things that you're gonna deal with on your journey. When things get tough, it can be really hard to stay focused and motivated to keep going on. However, whenever you do face these challenges, you will always surprise yourself and realize that you are more capable than you actually think you were originally. When I was in college, I discovered the wonderful world of real estate. Not that I discovered houses, but I discovered how crazy important they were to accumulating wealth. Now, if you know anything about real estate, if you don't do your proper research or set yourself up properly, you'll be put in a bad deal. This means that you have to have the right knowledge in order to buy the right property. And also, the financial barrier for a college student to even purchase real estate is really high, and I didn't have that type of money at the time. So because I knew I couldn't get the money right away, what I would do is I would spend my time reading books, listening to podcasts, or watching YouTube videos to prepare, so that when I actually did have the money a few years later, I would know what I needed to do, and I went for it. When I had actually got in contact with an agent and and actually started the process of purchasing a home, it felt like everything I knew went right out the window. It was like when you study for a test and when the test hits in front of you and everything leaves your mind. That's exactly how that felt for me. Because I felt this way, I was extremely anxious throughout the entire process. So as each day crept by, my anxiety just grew more, and more. However, despite my nerves, I was able to get the house under contract, and I was 2 weeks out from closing, and I started to get excited. Now during that 2-week period, it was my responsibility to go get the house inspected. And when I was getting the home inspected, the inspector had pointed out the water shutoff valve. And normally, information like this would just go right over my head. However, for some reason that stuck out to me. Now, flash forward a few days, and I got a phone call from one of my coworkers who happened to live across the street from the house I was purchasing. Convenient, I know. And the next words that they came out their mouth was one of the most gut-wrenching things to me at the time. They had told me that my house was flooding. They said that it looked like there was a water flowing from the garage all out into the street. And my heart sunk right to my stomach. As a first-time homebuyer, that was one of the worst things I could have ever heard. Now at that moment, I could have just threw my hands up and took it as a sign from God saying that maybe buying a house wasn't for me. I was so nervous and so stressed out at the time that I truly just felt like giving up. It felt like everything I had worked so hard to do up until that point was just worthless. However, that moment right there taught me that I was significantly more capable of handling a situation like this than I originally thought I was. Through all that time I did to do my research and general life experiences, I realized that there was a pathway forward. I realized that I could negotiate the price of the home down because the house was already under contract, and meaning that any damages that was already that was done during that period wasn't my fault. And because of this, I was able to negotiate the price down significantly. And what I discovered is that when all hope seemed like it was lost, that I was significantly more capable of dealing with a situation than I thought I was. The pathway to success will always have its road bumps, and sometimes it'll feel like you're not able to keep going. However, when things get difficult, I promise you, you will always surprise yourself about what you know and what you're able to accomplish. Something that successful people realize is that they're always more capable than they think that they originally are. They're always able to do more than they believe. In order to succeed at any action that you're about to take on, you have to understand that you can do these things that you set out you wanted to do. Take the situation that you're in or any action that you're trying to do and understand that you wouldn't be put in that situation to begin with if you weren't more than capable of actually completing it. At some point in your journey, there will be a moment that you're gonna fail. It's just a fact of life. There's gonna be a moment where you miss the mark or you make a mistake. Every person who's gone on a journey to success or been successful has always faced failure at some point in time. What really matters is how you recover from that failure and how you respond back to it. As you can see when you look at the history of this channel, you can see that I posted about 2 videos and I didn't start posting again for about another 2 years. Now, the time after posting my second video, I had the full intention of posting the third one. However, that's when all the excuses started to roll in. I wasn't confident in the video that I was writing at the time, and I started to question myself if anybody would even care or if my previous videos were even worth it, even though I was just getting started. I had somehow convinced myself that YouTube wasn't for me before I even really gave it a shot. It didn't help because I was putting too much pressure on myself to write the script, record the video, and edit all in the span of 1 week. And if you know anything about the video making process, that is almost impossible depending on what type of channel you have. But for the channel that I had that required me to do a lot of research, yeah, it just wasn't gonna work. I love YouTube and the message that can be put out there in the world. And I allowed myself to think that my word wasn't good enough. I chose to stay down. I chose to not post another video. And I chose to believe that I wasn't good enough. What dictates true failure is when you allow your mind to trick you into thinking that you're not capable of doing something and that you should give up. People who are successful face the same challenges you do, the same distractions and the same self-doubts. But what separates them from the people who do fail is the fact that they get back up and they truly believe that they're capable of achieving what they want. Those thoughts and beliefs you have about yourself turns directly into action. If you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to be able to continue on when things do get tough and when you actually have to succeed. The pathway to success starts and ends with how you carry yourself. Your thoughts and beliefs about yourself turns directly into action, and it affects every part of the journey in your path to success. If you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to be able to actually get started. And if you don't believe in yourself, when you do fail, failure is going to keep you there if you let it. However, you have to remember that you are capable and you can do these things. Have a strong belief system and you will always succeed in whatever you're trying to do. If you're interested in hearing more from me, sign up for the Nas Learns newsletter, where you get personalized tips, weekly motivation, and exclusive updates to upcoming videos. And if you're interested in hearing why you need to create right now, click this video on your screen now.